Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming back. And in today's video is going to be so exciting. Long awaited collaboration. Finally
Yeah.
here. So if you're new here, my name is firdaws.osman. I talk about living in Germany or Netherlands or whatever, Europe. But yeah, so today's video I have here with me Kelechi. I'm going to allow her introduce herself briefly. So Kelechi, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Fiddles. Hi, guys. My name is Kelechi, and I've been living in Germany since 5 years now. And I also make content around life in Germany. And I'm originally from Nigeria. What else? I think that's pretty much for now.
Okay, we'll get to know more as the video goes.
Exactly.
So, okay,
Yes.
you moved to Germany in 2019 because you said 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in 2019, you moved to Germany. So, what inspired you? What's like motivated you to move to Germany for study?
Okay. The thing is, I had always known that I was going to, leave Nigeria and everything, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know that I was going to come to Germany, right? But just like you, I heard about the free tuition and it piqued my interest. I was like, oh, okay. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea because who doesn't like to save some coins? So that was one major factor, free tuition, and then again, I thought, okay, since it's in Schengen, I would get to visit other Schengen countries that are around Germany, without hassle of
Mhm.
trying to get a visa and all of that. So yeah, and then of course, Germany's degrees are internationally renowned. And I was like, okay, wouldn't be a bad idea to eventually come to this country and start a life. So yeah, that was majorly what motivated me to come here.
Third question: you mentioned Schengen countries. So, how many countries in the Schengen region have you visited?
Okay, I've gone to Netherlands.
All right.
I've gone to Poland. I've gone to Czech Republic. I've gone to Italy. I've gone to hold on. There are two more that are on top of my mind. I think it's about either 6 or 7 of them, but they're not just popping in my head at the moment. But I think about six. I've gone to no, not Netherlands, Denmark. I've been to
Okay.
Denmark and Sweden. Yeah, about 6 or 7 thereabouts.
Yeah, you've done very well. So yeah, I just wanted to
I've
ask
not
this
done
because
very well. No, no,
I
no,
mean, it's fine.
Susan.
It's fair.
Ah,
It's fair. You still have time to get to like maybe 15 or so, but it's
you're
it's
right.
quite fair. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
some people are like, oh, because it's also Schengen. So I want to know. So when you came, were you actually traveling? All of that.
oh,
Yeah, but then it's fair. You went to like 6 or 7 countries. It's good. So you guys, these are one of the like positive sides of studying in Germany. You get to visit other countries easily. Imagine if you're in the UK, you just go to Wales, Scotland, Ireland,
yeah. And then that's it. No.
and then it's like the same. But here in Europe, each country is actually very different.
True
Okay,
that.
so another question I have is with your study program, right? After you came to Germany, and also you mentioned you were motivated to move to Germany, and also I want to know what motivated you to choose your study program. But first and foremost, what did you study?
I studied international marketing and sales,
Okay.
but in Nigeria, I got a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics, and I wanted to break free from agri.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, my advantage
Mhm.
for that course, or rather my advantage, like what I had to or how do I say this now? The good thing about it was that I had economics in my studies, so I had some economics background that enabled me get admission in marketing and sales, right? And why marketing and sales? One may wonder. The thing is, before now, I had already I've gotten some kind of life experiences in marketing and also some small, voluntary job experiences here and there when I was in Nigeria. So I kind of like got interested in that, doing it more professionally. And I mean, it seemed like my best way out, as a matter of fact, because it was either that or something else in agricultural sciences or something in economics, like core economics.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't ready for that. Okay. So that was what influenced my decision to, do marketing and sales. Even though I didn't come to Germany originally with that admission, because I came with a different admission, a bachelor's degree admission, because at the time that I was trying to apply for my master's program, my transcript of records was not yet available. So I applied for a bachelor's program, and before I was done with all the processes and everything, my bachelor's transcript eventually came out. But then I had already planned to leave. So with that, with the transcript that eventually came out, when I now came to Germany, I then switched. So yeah, that was like how I found
Right,
myself in
right,
that field.
right. So yeah, it's quite interesting, like to hear you did agricultural science and economics, and then now move to marketing and sales. Well, for me, I
Yeah.
think I know marketing and sales is top notch. I see lots of like companies they are really into their marketing and sales department is crazy. Like they are really doing so many things. Because I got to know, of
Stuff
course,
like
my new
acting.
yeah, I'm in my new position now because I work with people from sales and marketing. So yeah, I want to ask a question. Another thing is, someone might ask, because I know Germany they like to do a lot of prerequisites. Like if you apply for a study program and you don't meet some requirements of the
Um,
courses, they don't take you. So could you suggest any someone might want to do like this marketing your course, and
mhm.
then maybe they have a different background? What are some backgrounds they check, like certain bachelor programs background?
The thing is, it has to deal with, it's either something related to business
Hmm?
or economics, something in that field. Anything that you can think about that has to do with touch points with a customer of some sort, like, if you have that background. And of course, from a transcript of records, that's like the main thing they're going to check. They get to check some core courses that you must have done, one or two or three or four of them that are in alignment with
Yeah.
what the master's course entails. So I wouldn't say this course or that course, but you know best, or whoever is watching this knows best from whatever you have done. If it has had to do with customers at some point, business, sales, marketing, but maybe not in its entirety, but bits and pieces of it, then you stand a chance. Because, like I said, they would evaluate based on your transcript, not even necessarily because, I mean, different courses have different names, right? But it's
Mhm.
all based on the core. What did you study? What was your course structure comprised of? So that's usually how it works over here. Yeah.
Oh, great. So what's the name of the university you're studying in?
That was Fachhochschule Münster, University of Applied Sciences, Münster.
Okay. So how was it like when you were studying? How were you able to combine? I know that most of us, when we come to Germany, we want to do part-time jobs and stuff like this. How was it finding a job in Munster as a student, like a part-time job?
Well, interestingly, I didn't live in Münster.
Okay, wow.
So I came in 2019, like I mentioned, and in 2020, COVID broke out. And I didn't start my master's immediately I arrived. Like I
Mhm.
told you, I arrived with a bachelor's degree admission. And the prerequisite for that admission was that I had to study the German language up to the B2 before the program begins. And before then, I had just started making applications for my master program. So that means that I started my master's at around March of February. I think that was March of 2020, just
Really?
when Corona, a week before Corona broke out in Germany. And therefore, we were asked to start studying from home. So
Mhm.
I was living in Dortmund at the time. So all of my studies, at least up until the third semester, were done online.
Mhm.
Okay. And sorry, I think I lost my chain of thought. What was the rest of the question you asked me?
Then how was it like finding a job as a
Good.
student in Munster? But
Yes.
you
Okay.
didn't live in Munster.
Yeah, I didn't. So at the time in Dortmund, the first job that I found was a cleaning job. That
Mm-hmm.
was my
Okay.
first job. And the good thing was that I had already started learning German then. So I was able to communicate with my clients at the time. And then from cleaning, I then got some lager jobs in the warehouse. It was not funny in my back.
I know.
Mm, it was
Even
not a
cleaning
bit
is not easy.
something.
Cleaning job is.
Hey,
Hmm.
it was not funny. So
Yeah.
the good thing was that I think I progressed from having, okay, the first lager job I did started with morning shifts, then afternoon shift. Then I told them I wanted to take night shifts. They're looking at me like, ha, can you take on a night shift? I'm like, doc, yeah. They gave me a night shift. My first night shift, I questioned my existence in Germany.
How many hours?
I said, who sent me on this errand? Eventually, I got through with it. And funny enough, at that time, like I said, okay, before my master's program started, I hadn't, what am I saying? Hold on. When I was taking these odd jobs, like the cleaning job and the first lager job, my master program hadn't begun.
Mm.
I was still doing my German class. So when my master's program started, I was doing one job that was flexible to an extent. Um, like 3 times a week or thereabout. And the shift was okay. I was also doing night shift, majorly
Okay.
because I wanted more money.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was during one of my trips to work or from work that I heard some guys talking about working as a VEC student. And I was like, that's working student.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was curious, like, what is the difference between that and what we're doing? Are we not students? Are we not working? They were like, no, these are two different things. Like, this is what a working student entails. Like, you get to work with a company like an intern. I was like, wow, tell me more. And I did my research, and it turns out that there were lots of openings in my field in marketing and sales.
Oh.
And then I started putting out applications. The good thing was that it didn't take a while and I got a job. The good thing was it was 100% remote. So
Oh,
I was able to comfortably balance my study with my job. I didn't
perfect.
have to worry. I'm telling you, I didn't have to worry about running to my shift, having to do assignments and everything. So I was just able to, because sometimes you know how it is with remote jobs, you don't have to start super early, you can start later in the day. Main thing is finish your task for that day. So that was like my own journey. And with that kind of job, because I was now doing vet student jobs to the end of my study program. So with that kind of job and the model of working remotely completely, I was able to perfectly balance studying and working at the time.
Oh,
So yeah.
great. So with your VEC students, how did you find it? On which platform?
Um, Now, the thing is, okay, the first working student job was initiated with verbal, like unsolicited application. So basically, just looking for companies and shooting my shot.
Yeah.
Because I know that just like IT, every company needs marketing and sales department. So I thought to shoot my shot at the time. I'll write them, give them my CV, my cover letter, tell them that I'm a student of this fac in this school and all that and all that. And of course, I got my first share of Lighter Niche
Yeah.
and until it works with these ones. And the beautiful thing about that initiative with Airbong is that even if there is no job opening at that time, if they're impressed with you and there's space, they can create something for you if they have the capacity to. On the other hand, some companies really want someone, but they're too lazy to put out application, to put out word that they want someone to get because they're not too lazy now, but maybe too busy,
Yeah.
also occupied with stuff at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the good thing about the initiative with Airbog. Whereas for the second job that I did as a grad student, it was from Indeed that I found it, interestingly, because
Wow. You
I'm
got a job
always
from Indeed. I
interesting.
thought
Yes,
people
that's why I
don't
said
find jobs from
interestingly.
Indeed.
You get because I'm of the opinion that jobs on this job boards they are
Mhm.
all for a selected few, for a
Yeah.
certain sort of people. I feel like the owners of those jobs are already have I don't know, they've already been taken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I just really wonder, and it's worse when you even see some you apply, you even get to the interview stages, and then you hear, "Oh, we found a better candidate." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?" So when that's the only job so far that I have gotten from all these job boards
Mm-hmm.
online. So that's these are the two. ways that I have gotten, I got my working student jobs while I was studying. Yeah.
Great. So if you guys are listening, if you're a student, don't only rely on laga jobs. See,
No.
yeah, there is veg students, which is very good. Like, see the flexibility. Imagine you going to do laga job, come back, you're out to learn, you're already tired, you've lost motivation. Even if you can't get veg students, try and get some students from the university, like being a research assistant or whatever.
Yeah, I also got a position in my university. I was working with one of my professors
Nice.
as a research assistant. I was just basically doing homepage management and all that and tutorial stuff, just shenanigans. But because I talked to him, he was my data science teacher. I spoke to him,
Mhm.
very nice professor.
Yeah.
I told him, "Oh, I'm looking for a job." He was like, "What's my field?" I told him. He was like, if only I was IT inclined, that he has lots of IT startups that he would have put me into. That was my field. I told him, he was like, he didn't ask me what he was like, do I have skills, IT skills? I said, unfortunately not. This is what I'm studying and this is what I know. Sent him my CV, he forwarded it to his like the university, and they processed it, and that was how I was doing 2 jobs remotely. Was perfect.
Yes, I can imagine. So you guys imagine, just don't be scared to approach your lecturers because some of them
Yeah,
have startups, as Kelechi said. Some of them have startups. If they have a position, they'll give it to you. So
they
just
will fit you.
calmly
Yeah.
just approach them. They are looking for a job. If they have it, why not? And if you are
Yeah.
fit for the position, they would give it to you.
If you're fit, they will give it to you.
Yeah, so don't be timid, don't be shy to ask. Yeah, the lecturers they love it when you actually approach them, especially when international students are students ask them questions or favors. They don't,
Mm.
they will help you if they can. Okay, so great. So Kelechi, we'll go to the next question. So what's where some okay no before I move to with this your the VEX students, did they their criteria was it on German? Did you have to know German?
The first job, yes. The thing is, they'll tell you it's a plus or it's important because the 2 jobs were English. However, the teams, look at the first team, they had the headquarters in the UK in Manchester. So the job was in English, the general meeting was in English with the UK team, but the in-house German team was always in German. So it would have been difficult for me to communicate with them without any German knowledge and to get tasks and stuff like that. And also, hold on a second, I'm trying to remember something. Yeah. And also, the interview was conducted in German language. So that was a punct for me, if I have to say that. Like that made them say, okay, she's fit, she can hear us, she can understand us, and we can understand her. And she's a working student. It wouldn't cost anything to hire cheap labor. So
Right.
of course, yeah, German played a role in the first one. In the second one, on the other hand, the interview process was conducted entirely in English language. However, my German also was a plus because they want when a situation whereby during a team bonding event, when there is a joke being said in German or something, you can contribute to. But it wasn't a criteria
Yeah.
for them to hire me. But they just said perfect English language proficiency skills,
Mm,
and if you have German skills, it's okay. But
mm,
it's not a must for us. So that was how the both of them went. So the first one, I would say German was important for me to get the job because I needed to communicate with the in-house team in German.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking of German language, how did you transition? If you could give somebody tips, somebody who's starting now, what
Hmm.
tips you could give to learn German?
Okay, the first thing is um attend actual classes.
Mm-hmm.
Dedicate time to German. Even though I know that for many students who come here with a master program, it's not very easy because then they feel like they have limited time. But I'm going to advise you, if I have to say this, if you come here with a master's program, you
Mm-hmm.
can take just one course that semester or 2 courses and focus on the German language. Give it your like let it be like you are going to school for it because I went to school for German course for 1 year, intensive German course, Mondays to Fridays,
Oh.
from say 8 o'clock to 12:1 every day.
Mm.
So I would say ensure to attend classes, German classes, as often as you can. If you're unable to pause your studies or take very few courses, no problem. But be very active when you have to go to the class. However, how many hours you have that week, make the most of it. However, on the other hand, you don't just what's the word? You don't solely what's the English word? Oh my god. Hold on. Hey, Kelechi, wait. You don't solely depend. How am I
Yeah.
looking for the word depend? Thank God. You don't solely depend on your classes. So when you come out, you have to make conscious effort to
Mhm.
practice in the real world. And I'm not talking of just going to Rave or Aldi to say Spitale mit Karte bitte.
With cards of it.
No, it's beyond that. Find a local church in your area that doesn't comprise of foreigners, but
Right.
comprises of Germans.
Mm-hmm.
Get involved, go to their church, serve in the church, find something to do that will make you have into how to make they'll make you communicate with the people. Then, if you have friends, if you have made friends already, or there are people from your school, if you started a program that speak German, like Core Germans, especially if you're able to have made friends that are either foreigners or Germans that can speak the language, use them to practice. Because Germans who want to learn English, they use people who speak English to practice. They want
Yep.
to, when you want to speak German with them, they want to speak, use them to also learn the language.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
understand? So the idea is to practice what you learn in class because it's not enough to just go do assignments, close your book tomorrow, you go and continue the same cycle. No,
Mm-hmm.
practice. Then another thing too is, I mean, watching movies in the language, subtitle if you can, just so you're picking up stuff. And another thing too, I would say is
Or if you are single, get a German boyfriend or girlfriend.
that would work, of
That
course.
works. That works.
That works, okay, that actually works. But the truth, let me tell you the truth. Many Africans who date Germans are not interested in learning German language. At least I
Hmm.
can count three of them
If I
who
was that,
came here.
I'll use that to also learn German. Yeah.
I can count three of them who I know personally
But they speak
that
English.
came here as students. They speak English with their partners. Their partners speak English, of course. I mean, that must have been how they started dating. But I just feel like it
Yeah.
would be a very good
Use them
platform for you
right.
to
Exactly. Yeah.
get. So, I mean, another thing too that I did, I remember that I did this a lot. Then I could just find reasons to call. Like then I was trying to make inquiries for some people for uni assist or
Okay.
call the university for inquiries. I will call them and they will maybe for uni assist, I mean, mistakenly called the English Abteilung. I'm like, ich möchte mit deutsche Abteilung sprechen. That way I'm hearing new words even if I'm not exactly saying like what's the word, I'm not exactly communicating in their
Mhm.
level. I'm like, können Sie bitte langsamer sprechen oder mit einfacher Deutsch sprechen, damit ich besser verstehen. Also I was able to tell them to speak in the level, like this is my level please,
Only
and they gladly came down to my level to understand me and for me to communicate in return. So my point is, I was just making calls then to public offices in German language, or there was a time my internet was disturbing me at home, and then I called Vodafone. I was always on the matter. So if I called them, I'll be speaking German. I was even picking some words that I'll use for the next conversation. You
good
get
tip.
so yeah. I don't know. I don't think anybody. I think I came up with that thing by myself.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me that idea. So by so doing, I was in touch with the language because
Mhm.
I was working in English language at the time
Right.
and my studies were solely in English. So I had to put myself in situations where I would speak this language besides going to the supermarkets. So these are the things that I would suggest, especially like if you have friends that speak the language, don't spare them, use them to learn it. So yeah,
Great, great. I think I will do this as well now I'm in the Netherlands.
you
Yeah.
should.
Um, if they start speaking, I say nay, nay, nay.
Me, speak of that, I want to learn
Speak,
this one. Like
speak,
I
yes.
remember recently I called TK. TK, I didn't know that TK Insurance now has English asylum. So I called them for someone who is in Nigeria. They wanted to buy insurance or pay for an insurance. And so I called the English asylum and she started talking. I was not in the mood to speak Ich bin that day. I just wanted to just. So she started talking and she wasn't understanding me very well because she was saying something else. She thought I was talking of employment. And I was like, okay, wir können auch auf Deutsch reden. And you can see she's not there. She's not that she hopes that her English was not so schlecht. I was like, me. It was not schlecht. But I wanted you to understand me better.
Right.
It was so funny. But
My God. That's a really
yeah,
good tip. I'll do this.
yeah, well,
So, Kelechi, let's talk about now after school transitioning into a full-time job. How
uh-huh.
you like? How was you finding a job? Would you say that your experiences as a vet student gave you the chance of like getting a full-time job as well?
The thing is, I would say it gave me visibility.
Okay.
At least because one thing I noticed about German companies is that they don't want to do the dirty job of training you. Let me not say dirty, but you get the point. Like they don't want to go through the stress
Yeah.
of having to go get the experience and come. Even though like sometimes I play on their intelligence, I play on their emotions sometimes, the emotional side when I'm writing applications in a cover letter when I was still starting. I'm
Okay.
like, every expert was once a beginner.
True.
So even though I'm a beginner, I hope to get a chance with the company, something like that. So the point I'm trying to make is that in the beginning, my work experiences as a working student paved the way for me. It
Mhm.
enabled me to, get visible. People apply. I got interviews and everything, but for some reason, some of them were not working. If it's not the salary, not necessarily salary. I don't think I necessarily had a problem with anybody with salary, but okay, just one that was offering me something that I'm like, do you realize I'm a master's degree holder in this country? Don't play. So I think
Crazy.
it was one that really wanted to like on that payment, like I beg,
Yeah.
I can't do that. Or distance. So for some, they wanted me to do to Hamburg, Frankfurt. I'm like, okay, I think I need to start streamlining this thing based on where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I think it was distance that made some of them not to work out in the long run. But I do know that um, my working students' experiences did play a role. However, in a nutshell, I would say it's not easy because I think I got more chances as a student than as a graduate for some weird reasons. Do you get? It's more difficult. And it's not even about the language because I can communicate fluently if I do say so myself. And the interviews are being conducted in German.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really wonder most times. And then some, they just give you their fair share of Irish here and there, here and there. So I think it's a thing of I think the where I find myself is highly competitive
Mm-hmm.
and
There is,
saturated.
right?
Yes, yes. Not just the region. Like I'm talking about the field I
Yeah.
find myself in the marketing.
Mm.
So generally, it's very difficult because the truth is, when it comes to marketing, almost anybody can even do a marketing job even without a degree. If you're able to just get one or two lessons online, you're good to go. So I would say it's not been the easiest after school transitioning, but I've been able to successfully do that, but it's not the easiest in this field, I must admit. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. Okay. I can imagine. Like
so it's not easy, trust me.
yeah, the competition out there is crazy, and then
Super tough, super,
and
super
now that
tough.
I'm working, I realize that it's not even about what she studied because you can always learn something on the job. Because because with my rotation now, I have to do a rotation.
Mhm,
My original position is complexity reduction. Um,
mhm.
that's yes, I need industrial experience because I already had that from my intention. I think that's one of the reasons why I even got the position because I already had like industrial experience. But now I'm working with more with data.
Okay.
Now my next rotation has to be in like procurement, right?
Oh, okay.
In procurement.
Mm.
That's when I realized that people working in the company have different backgrounds that
Yeah.
anybody can
Mm.
do anything so far as they teach you like the thing. So getting the first job is like the most important. I think the
Yeah,
next
once you're able to break in after school,
Yeah.
I think it's easier going forward if you're actively searching. It's a lot easier when you're done because they want to see, besides your degree, what have you done? What can you do? Have you worked in real life situations in actual companies after school? When they're convinced, then that works there.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Kelechi, you have worked in Germany, work students, full time job. How is like work life balance in Germany? Is it good from your side?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing, like I said, speaking from personal experience and perspective, from my field, so in my field, which is marketing, I'm able to work remotely, except the employer is just busybody and wants you to come to the
Yeah.
office. But the kind of jobs that I can do in marketing, I can work from anywhere in the world.
Right.
So that's the top work-life balance for me, being able to work remotely. And like I told you, as a student for 3 years, I worked remotely completely, right? And in Germany, as we know, the holidays are between 25 to 30 days, depending on your company and all that. And of course, you have your sick leaves when you're not feeling too well. I mean, at the end of the day, the work life balance here is good. Okay. And you can take your holidays whenever you want to take it. The only thing is, depends on your team, depends on your working structure and what exactly is your scope of work. Because sometimes there are some jobs that are very, how do I put it now? You can be in a sector where there is more demand for you at a certain time of the year. So you don't take your holidays at certain times
Of
based
course.
on emotional intelligence, right? But it's not like anybody would exactly tell you, okay, you cannot. Do you get? So the good thing about Germany's work-life balance in terms of your holidays is that you're able to take your holidays whenever you want to, just apply in advance and you have it. So, I mean, I would say both as a student and as working full-time after studies, the work-life balance has been really good. And I'm talking of when I started working in my field, not when I was doing the whole lager job, because working in lager is a different ball game
Hmm?
um, with regards to in comparison to working in a corporate system. So yeah, I mean, generally it's okay. It's really fine. It's
Great,
okay.
great. So,
And
any.
another thing, sorry to cut you short. Another thing that I really like about Germany's work-life balance is that when you're on holidays, nobody disturbs you. Or after you've clocked out for that day, like it's fire abend, choose,
Hmm? True?
you get.
Yeah.
Except there was one place I worked, like one of the companies that I did my working student positions. The boss would write by 9 p.m., 8 p.m., and
I like.
one busybody working student with me will be answering her. Now making me look like I'm an unserious. Me, I don't bother. Once in fact,
Yeah.
because of that, what happened was I now used to, once it was like 8 p.m., I mean 5 or 6 p.m., I'll go on Do Not Disturb on that app. So I
Okay.
don't even get notifications from Slack
Mm-hmm.
until the next morning, like, oh, he wrote by 9 o'clock. Okay, I can now
Yeah.
answer and give my input. So that was one out of, I'm pretty sure, 1,000 people, because the typical German will not disturb you after your working hours. Once you have done fire abend, you have
Yeah.
done your fire abend. So they don't disturb you during your holidays and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's okay in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just similar to Netherlands as well. The work life balance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Except there are some peak times within the year
That's
that
the thing. Yeah.
like they still have like deliveries to give, and yeah, I think the work life balance is very good. But do you think like in the back of your mind you wish like maybe you were working in Nigeria or with Nigerians?
In Nigeria or with Nigerians, they're two different things you're asking right now.
Let's say with no in Nigeria,
The only thing I miss about Nigeria is my family.
right? Really?
Yeah, the system is not favorable at the moment
True, true, true.
because I was opportune to do my NYSC there too before coming out. And the place I worked, hey God, just wanted to use me, squeeze me, and for nothing. for nothing because what they were paying them, when I even remember it, I'm like, you've come a long way. Do you understand?
Eh,
So I don't think even as a master's degree holder self,
mhm.
working in Nigeria now, except it's for an international company that has base there, then you're sure that okay, you're going to pay the foreign currency and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Or maybe you're in a different space, IT, you know that okay, wherever you, but with this my marketing field, Nigeria
mhm.
is not a place I would like to work with in. However, working with Nigerians, of course, why not? I would love an opportunity to be in a workplace where I have one or two Africans. I
Yeah,
don't think necessarily, I'm not necessarily keen on Nigerians, but if I have
like,
one or two African
yes,
colleagues, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. My last place of work, I was the only African person there. I didn't like it.
yeah, I
I
can
didn't
imagine.
like it. Uh-uh. It was so funny. And your addition to the group is more like a sprinkle of
Yeah,
international. Uh-uh.
yeah, the face of diversity.
Do you understand? So if I'm in a place where there are two or more, like one of the companies where I did my, in fact, the two companies where I did my working student jobs, one of them there were other two. There was one African, not two, one African, but not in Germany, in the UK. And the other company, there were two Nigerians, one Igbo guy, and another from another tribe to Nigeria. And it wasn't bad, even though we're not,
Yeah,
but it was good to know that in a team meeting, I wasn't the only African. It's like,
yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, for me, sometimes it's weird when you have in like an organization where you meet another African and they behave like they don't really want to mingle. You kind of
girl, you
have,
know, let me now tell you now. So the one of them was in Nigeria at the time, working from Nigeria. The
okay,
other one was in Germany. And I imagine because I joined the company and from how they work, um, your team meeting, like your introduction to the company, is not with the whole team, but
right.
with your small team, like the marketing team. So the guy was in IT, but I
Mm-hmm.
used to see his name in the main team Slack, like where the CEO is writing some sort of information on the HR. And I was like, this is an African Nigerian name. Am I not seeing well? And
Yes,
what I would have done if I had not, because in the main group they put it out, your picture, your name, welcome to the group, but there's no meeting, so to say, to welcome you. It's just going to be put out there. So if I was the one in a group where another Nigerian or another African joined, I would write you, welcome to the team. I am this, whatever, whatever. I'm from this. Nice to meet you. Just try to warm up to you a little bit, not necessarily just to say hi so that you feel at home that there's another African. That was what I expected, but I didn't get that. So I reached out to him and he was chill, he was okay. But for me, that was like,
yes, right.
I thought it was the other way
So,
around. Like, welcome to our team. Now, me, they write to you. It wasn't like that. The other one that was in Nigeria, I did not even bother. I said, not writing me. I said, they were you, I will not even bother writing you. So I don't know if it was giving. I wanted to be the only African on this team or what. I don't know. But yeah, like I don't know why people would give up that energy to be honest.
yeah,
But I've gotten the experience firsthand, so I can relate to what you're talking about.
yeah, I can imagine because even at my workplace, there's another black girl. She's
Mm-hmm.
brown, but we are happy to see each other because we're the only two black people there, right? So
It should be
sometimes,
exciting.
yeah, we sometimes arrange to come to the office at the same day, like because it's home office, it's hybrid. So we're like Tuesday I come, okay, I'll come as well. Okay, bring plantain or something, And
Oh,
whenever we
nice.
see each other, we're like very happy. And yeah,
That's
so
really nice.
for me, I'm always happy to see another like
Yeah.
an African at a place whenever if that work or school or whatever. So
That's true.
yeah,
Whether work or school, yeah.
exactly. Like, because when I was in my master's in my class, we had two Nigerians, and from that first day, I mean, there were other Africans, but the Nigerians we could click easily.
Easily,
Easy.
yeah. Easier
Like
to click.
we
Yeah,
didn't
that's
even
true.
like the second day we were going to class together.
Yeah, it's
So
very
that,
easy. Yeah.
yeah, So yeah, I like to meet other African people. And then, Kelechi, the next question I have is, let's give some. I want you to give some tips to people who are applying for jobs, especially new graduates in Germany. I know it's not easy. People are already frustrated. I've been searching and searching, and I'm not getting. Give some tips here and there as regarding to CV and cover letter.
Okay. Now, the first thing is your CV. I have seen some people's CV. Like, I know that many people are not opportune to get jobs during their study years, like working student jobs. So they just do lager arbeit and all that. And due to that, they are unable to put their CVs together and all that. So the first thing is, please ensure that your CV is standard. If you don't know what it looks like, go to the internet.
So
Ask
many resources.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even ChatGPT now, safe. To be honest, ChatGPT is even. I feel like ChatGPT is even more handy now than Google.
Oh,
You have resources like
even at
ask.
workplaces, people use ChatGPT. It never
I saw
ends.
one. Sorry to digress. I saw one video during Christmas celebrating our Christmas party with ChatGPT. It was one huge and giant robot, and it was so funny to see because, to be
Wow.
honest, ChatGPT has saved many people at work since it came
Yes.
out.
Getting emails and things like.
Tell me about it. So the first thing is, please put your CV in order. Go to the internet, Europass CV, arrange your CV, let it look good. Put up a good passport photograph there. Look at what they do, what others do, and do the same thing. With regards to your cover letter, if you also are not sure of what to do, ChatGPT will help you.
Hmm?
Feed it in, give it the right prompts, tell it what your experiences have been and all that, tell it to put down something good. Now, before you do that, I'm pretty sure that, try to have some level of German language, right? But if you're fortunate that the jobs you're applying for don't need German, then yay you. But if you are you're supposed to apply for a role that requires German and you're writing your cover letter and you have to use ChatGPT to write it, please give it a prompt to not write Hochdeutsch for you.
Hmm.
Because when you put your cover letter in Hochdeutsch, really high level, and you have to talk in the interview, if they look at what you wrote and what you're saying and it's not matching, that could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if your level of German is A2 or B1, tell your cover letter, tell ChatGPT or whatever to write your cover letter with that to your same level, so that there's not much discrepancy. Otherwise, it can be an issue. To be honest, right? Another thing too is do a lot of initiative Bewerbung, unsolicited applications, because I kid you not, it's faster for you to get a job. Like you have a higher chance of being called with initiative development compared to applying on job platforms like Stepstone and Indeed. You can be lucky, don't get me wrong, you can be lucky to find a job there, but I just feel like those people, they have their owners. Those jobs, they have their owners.
It's a formality for them to also.
Girl, it's too competitive, very competitive. So even if you're exceptional, you're very good. But as a foreigner, I always like to respect myself. I will apply for those ones, so don't get me wrong. I do those ones casually on my bed, on my couch, just do Snell the verbal, right? But the ones that I really sit on my computer to do, I research very well, look for the
Yep.
companies, craft proper cover letters, send even look for if I can see the name of the HR somewhere there, write their name, address it to them. You understand? It gives a more personalized feel to whoever that is reading the application. What else would I say? Yeah. Prepare yourself if you get called for the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourself, and it still brings me to, like, you need to learn German, because even if a job doesn't need German language, you should stand a better chance. You stand a better chance at being called, or rather being offered the job, if during the interview process you're able to communicate in the German language, because then they can be themselves around you and not have to look for the perfect English words to speak English to you. To get. So I think these are the few tips that I can give. I'm no HR personnel, but from my
Yep.
own experience so far, I'll just say focus on making more unsolicited applications than
True.
for companies that have already advertised, because you would likely be called. Like I mentioned, I don't know if it was in this video or in your video together, some companies are too busy to put out applications, put out call for applications, while on the other hand, some companies just, I mean, they can create something for you
Mm-hmm.
based on your experiences and also based on what they're looking for at a certain time. You
Right.
get. So yeah, just put yourself out there, shoot your short, and ensure that your CV and your cover letter are
Up to,
on
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Don't do, if you put in a trashy CV, it's garbage in, garbage out. You're worrying yourself. Kill yourself. Always
Exactly.
adjust the CV very well according to the job.
Yeah, ensure to do that. Yeah.
Okay, Kelechi, we are going to play a game before we leave. I'm going to ask
Okay.
you a question. So, Germany, you choose one, okay? I'll give you two countries, you choose one. Germany or the UK?
Germany.
Okay, Germany or USA?
Germany.
Germany or Canada?
Because of distance back home, Germany.
Okay, I mean, this one you too Germany because of distance. Germany or Australia?
Germany. No bother. Apart from the distance, apart from the distance, I heard that there are lots of reptiles and animals everywhere on the streets. Girl, I don't like them. So please, Germany.
Yeah. So yeah, for me as well, I think the USA is so overhyped. Or
USA is overrated. I'm not gonna
like,
lie, but it's going to be perfect for holidays. I mean,
yeah, maybe for holiday, I don't think you should go to USA. Go to like Thailand or something. You know,
right?
Asia.
I mean, just to see. I think
Just
for
to
me,
see,
going to the US probably be just to have it on record. Oh, I've been to the
just,
US.
yeah,
But
one
it's
of
also
them.
somewhere I think, yeah.
Yeah, right, cool, right. Yeah, and Canada.
Maybe if you said Germany or Switzerland, even though I've never been to
Okay, I didn't
Switzerland,
want
but I
to
think
the countries. Okay, Germany or Switzerland.
maybe Switzerland.
Switzerland. Oh, there's something about Switzerland. Then they're like alone in their own world. You know,
Girl,
quality of
they're
living
just they're not,
good. It's
they don't
safe.
want stress. Like they're not no drama girl. They're on their own, minding their business. Drinking water, minding their business, having healthy and glowing skin. I mean,
Yeah,
I've watched many bad press about that about Switzerland
because
since I came to Europe.
they're strict with immigration, so it's
They're what?
they are strict with immigration.
I think that's
The countries
why.
there, you countries like Australia, you don't really hear so much because they're very strict with immigration. It's like when you have a lot of people in their country, then there's more. I'm not saying immigrants are problematic. Even the people as well are problem. The people of the country, but when you have a lot of population, then there's a lot of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Switzerland is good country, good quality of living is good. Salaries are very good, even though living expenses is high. But I think it's also a good country, especially if
Mm.
you're German, you can easily move to Switzerland in the future if you want to.
I've never visited Switzerland, but it's on my bucket list. I would really
Right.
like to
So
go. I want to go.
I have to
I
visit
want to see what the
Switzerland.
country is like. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I think in Switzerland, that's where a lot of Germans actually migrate to Switzerland. There are about 300,000 Germans in
Trust
Switzerland.
me, if I had to leave this country for any country, I think it would most probably be Switzerland.
Yeah,
Trust me. I've never been there, but Phoebe was there too. And Phoebe sold that country to me in her video. Like,
Phoebe,
I have to be here.
yes. Yeah, I would.
It's a long place from what I see.
Yeah,
Even though I think it's very expensive though, but I like to think if you're working there, you should be able
it's
to, just like in the Netherlands, if you're
yeah,
working, you should be able to take care of your living expenses. People are living there, aren't they?
yeah. It's to balance. Like the salary goes with the living expense.
Exactly, living expenses can now. Yeah, true
But
that.
yeah, but then okay. So now that brings to the question: what do you love about Germany? Because you chose Germany over everything except Switzerland. Switzerland, I understand why you choose it, but why do you love Germany?
Okay, that's an interesting twist. I wasn't expecting this question, but okay. Yeah, I mean, for a couple of reasons. Okay, first of all, I love Germany for the fact that I was able to get a degree here without paying nothing. I didn't pay anything, and I got a solid and standard master's degree certificate in this country. I love Germany because I got the opportunity to learn a third language besides my native language and the English language. I think it's amazing. As a matter of fact, even though it was scary for me when I was coming here, because I was like, how would I learn a language in my old age? How? But I've realized that I could actually do it, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm very happy that I was able to, you know, um, what's the word? It's not English. I wanted to speak now, but it's not clicking.
But your
So
German,
I'm happy that.
that's why.
Sorry,
Your German is more than the English now. That's why I think it
that's
happens.
that's, that's the story for another day. That thing it drives me crazy most times. So yeah, the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
learn a third language, I'm happy about that. I'm also happy that, or rather, I love Germany because of the level of security that I have here in comparison to back home. You know how it is, how as a woman you can walk the streets at night without, even though now little things have changed in Germany a lot in the past years, right? But the time when I came, that time we used to do lager jobs. Now you come back in the night, I could
They,
come home without necessarily looking over my shoulders. I felt really safe, you understand? Even though at some point I started being really careful and taking pepper spray along just to be super safe. Yeah. But generally, or is it this one where you're walking on the streets and pressing your phone? You can't try that in Nigeria.
even in
You
the
cannot.
UK, you can't do that.
Even in the UK, we're going too far.
But I don't know.
Even in
UK is one of
the
the countries I don't really care about. I don't know, but I feel
Do
like
you
there are
get
too
so
many against there, and it's just too much. Like I don't know, but
I
anyways,
really feel a whole lot safer in Germany.
yeah.
And then again, Germany's economy in Europe is reasonably strong, even though there are other countries too that are also doing big things. But compared to a lot of them, Germany's economy is strong. And then again, I also love the fact that the country, even though it has its downsides, but the country thrives on social benefits,
Hmm?
right? It tries to cater for everyone as much as it can, even though it seems like it gives savior complex and everything, but that's why I said it has the downsides to it, right? But I love that about it. Like in Germany, you cannot say that you don't have food to eat. It's not possible.
No.
Or you don't have shelter. I had this conversation with someone when we were talking about shelter and everything. The person said that, oh, the shelters are trash. I'm like, the shelters were not built to be trash. Human beings made them trash. If
Exactly.
at all you don't have any place to be, because you would see on TikTok or on YouTube, people are making videos, especially asylum seekers, like people who are
I
waiting for their
think
asylum
so.
to leave.
Demanding, like how do you call that thing? So the English word entitled.
Thank you, that's the word. Yes,
I look at asylum
like
seeker. They are trying to give you something, you complain, and even now that they put the money on the card, I feel like you still shouldn't complain.
shouldn't complain.
But
In my hmm?
your country is not giving you that. Somebody is giving you.
In my dialect, in my language, we say John, you are poor and you still have bad mouth. You are a beggar, you still have choice. Why? How? Do you understand? Like if your country is so perfect, then choose. You can always go back and find someone that will give you food to eat.
You should know
Because when
that
I
some
think of the roots,
ad and their tax is being used for you. Yeah, that's the whole point.
that's why I said sometimes it's really because some people complain they earn a lot and they have to pay so much taxes. That's the system that we find ourselves in. So really, generally, I mean, and then again, Germany is close to home.
Mm?
If I'm taking one flight home in 6, 7 hours, I'm home. I don't have to take multiple flights except I'm really looking for how to cut costs. You understand? So I mean, there are several of them, but these are like the ones that come like really top of my mind at the moment. So yeah, that's why I'll still take Germany over the UK. And then of course, Germany over UK, Germany over USA, I get to travel. Germany over Australia, I get to travel again without looking for visa. Girl,
That,
that's a plus for me. So thank you.
that
With this point of mind, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse
comes
you why you
to
love Germany.
Yeah, even me like this, I'm also pro Germany because like
Yeah.
my husband and I we always like argue. He'll be like, okay, go back to Germany. I'll be
No.
like, Netherlands is a baby in front of Germany. I hope you know that. He's like,
Ah,
but German trains are always this. And so anytime I'm taking a train here and I see plan, then I'll take a picture and send it to him. Can you see? Like even though I'm here,
regarding that
I'm
thing is that it wasn't even.
always
I feel old in this country already.
I
It
know.
wasn't the delay. The train delays were not this bad back then, but it's really crazy. Like you just see, there was one time I was traveling from Dortmund to Berlin. Train delay 120 minutes. Where do you want to start from?
120. Yeah,
There was
it
another one when I was going to Budapest. Ah, I didn't mention I've been to Budapest. Yeah, I think it's about 8 countries now. Yeah, ask me. So I was going from Netherlands, from Nigeria, then from Nigeria. Okay, I was going from Germany to Budapest, but I had to stop at Czech first. I took a train to Czech Republic first, and that train was from Dresden. I think we waited for 75 minutes.
wow.
Verspätung in the train station. So frustrating. I was like, why?
Oh no, I
So
think
yeah, the
they
train.
work. They
Sorry.
really work. They really have to work on the trains.
They have to work on it because it's very
Yeah.
frustrating. And I think this train delay started very well when they were testing out the 49 euro, the €9 ticket at the time. I think that was in 2021. That was when they were testing out the €9 ticket. That was the beginning or the beginning. That was the beginning of the whole train delay, in my opinion, though. I could be wrong, but yeah.
They really.
Every country thing is every country has its flaws.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And for you to be in a country, like when I see people that forget about content creators like us that once we just snort Germany, like, but the
Yeah.
reality is that I mean, if you feel like the country is like really, and sometimes the truth is that when we like, I made one video about being black in Germany, and someone came and was attacking me. Is this country like this? No, I think I talked about missing my country. Another video spoke about missing Nigeria. Somebody was like, then I should go back home if Germany is not comfortable. I'm like,
That's not the
poor
point.
you, poor you. You don't understand the point, my point of view, but that's fine. So the point I'm trying to make is that when I see people who are actively and seriously talking down about this country that has given you shelter, not shelter, but has given you an opportunity to thrive, to be who you want to be, to chase your dreams, and you're talking down, just leave already. Instead of, just like you're in a relationship with somebody, if you feel like they're toxic for you, you can't stay there. Don't badmouth them or try to make them look like they are bad with the rest of the world. Even though I know that some people do it these days for content purposes, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. Even yeah, I can imagine like why some of the natives will be like, then go back to your country. Like if you make such comments, right? So why are you still here? Then? I mean, you could always move to another country, but they
Yeah.
don't know that every country has its process. Because I feel like for international students in Germany, it's actually way better for international students in the US. Because in the US, it's so hard to after school when you graduate to get into the job market. Especially for them, their visa sponsorship is like hell. It's really
So I
difficult. In Germany, you could, if you're like, you could find a job in Switzerland, in the neighboring countries, and then you might get. Or you could just do a second master's and drag your time and use it to
you
apply.
get like buy time or look for a PhD. Girl, see,
Yeah,
forget all the bad PR sometimes that Germany gets. This country is
no,
stupid. I just wish that some things will be put in place, but
the flexibility. It's not
yeah.
like there is, that US and other countries, the time for international students is like they are under pressure. It's not easy. See, people are like, oh, it's so easy to find a job in the US. I have friends who were there and it wasn't easy at all getting like,
Mm,
even though it's English speaking, right? Because of the visa sponsorship. That's like a big problem there. So yeah,
true.
actually, last question before we leave. One tip for someone who wants to study in Germany.
Mm. One tip you said,
Yeah, so that we end.
who wants to study? That means you're still in your home country.
Yeah, who
Okay.
wants to move to Germany for study? Mm-hmm.
Okay, just do as much research as possible so that you know what you're coming into. and
Mm-hmm.
you know what you're up against, because most times people come here and the expectations don't match the reality, and that happens to a lot of people a lot of times. So just be prepared. And the good thing now is that right now there are more content creators from
Yeah.
Germany, in Germany, students wise and otherwise, than there were years back. At least before I came here, there weren't so many content creators who could tell you what life was like. It was just based
Mm-hmm.
on friends who I had here, right? So try to do as much research as possible, you know. And if there are content creators that you think that are accessible, then you can write them DMs, try to be friends with them.
Go straight
Okay.
to the point. Don't say yes.
Yeah, yeah, go straight to the point. Don't, no, no, no. Of course, go straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush. Just say what you want to say. And if you're trying to be their friend, of course, be witty about it and apply some emotional intelligence too.
Mm-hmm.
And then something else I really want to add is that some people who want to come to Germany are not able to get some kind of information that they need online for some whatever reason. And then there are content creators or people who actually have resources that could help you, either one-on-one consultation or some courses that they sell. I would implore you to take advantage of those,
Mm-hmm.
because by so doing, then you have even a better access to whoever it is that you're getting that resource from. Because then, if you have more questions or you need more guidance or more coaching in the long run, they could be of greater assistance to you.
Yeah.
So, this is, in a nutshell, what I can say to anyone who wants to come. And of course, pray.
True.
Very important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very, very important. Put everything in prayers. Whatever you worship, whatever you,
exactly.
whatever, just hold it in high
Hold
faith.
it tight. You will need it. You will need it, definitely. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Kelechi. This was a
It's a
very
pleasure.
conversation, and I know my people will learn a lot from this. And also, Kelechi has a YouTube channel. Please go to her channel and subscribe. We also have a video together. I'll share the link in my description box, and then yeah, please go there and subscribe to the channel. Hard one, yeah.
Thank you.
So, and have a nice time. Bye.
Bye.